Welcome back to the final segment of this week's edition of Sun Devil Extra from the Mountain America Credit Union Sun Devil Radio Network. I'm Tim Healy, the radio play-by-play voice of Sun Devil football, men's basketball, and baseball, and it's my pleasure to serve as your host each week. We continue now with our conversation on the 9th-ranked Sun Devil women's water polo team ahead of its big matchup, home matchup with number 2 California this coming Saturday. You are about to meet, if not the best, certainly one of the best players in the history of the Sun Devil water polo program. She currently has 110 goals scored this season, an ASU single season record. In addition, her 240 career goals, also an all-time Arizona State record. Her scoring ability has helped elevate this Sun Devil team to its first 20-win season in 7 years, and it is a pleasure to welcome senior attacker Luca Petovary to the show. Luca, how are you? Good to see you.
Hi, good to see you. Thank you so much for having me.
Now, you come from Hungary. How challenging was the transition from moving from Hungary to the United States when you first came to Arizona State?
Well, just moving here, it was actually very, very easy for me, I'll be honest. The team was amazing. It felt like a family from the first moment I moved here. And then obviously having Petra here and already a few Hungarian at that current team, it was very easy to fit into this group and work with them. On the water polo side, there are a few differences. I think I needed some time to adjust to the referees or the different style of water polo, but I think I managed.
What are the differences in style, would you say, in style of play?
I would say it's a lot more physical back in Hungary. So there are a lot of calls here that I had to pay attention. It's not getting my third injection to stay in the game. And also, I think we move a lot more here than back in Hungary. It's very stationary at home, and we play with big centers. And here constant movements, but defense, offense, both sides. So it's I would say the hardest part was defending here and adjusting to all these movements and to find a way with my teammates how to work together.
Yeah, anyone who knows anything about water polo knows how challenging and taxing physically a sport it is. I wonder if that style of play with all the movement makes conditioning even more significant
for sure.
for you. Huh?
Yes. But I honestly love it. I can't really stop in the water. I constantly just want to move, make the play, create positions either for others or if I can for myself. So I love this kind of water polo, to be honest.
And you certainly play like you do, as we mentioned in the intro. 110 goals this year, single season ASU record. 240 career goals, single season ASU record. Or single career ASU record, and she has 10 goals in one game. That's a single game record. How meaningful are those records to you to have established here?
I think it's very cool to hear or see, but I don't really focus on these. And it's not my only own achievement, because it's a team sport, and I have great teammates around me who help me to achieve it, as well as our staff that I think I've never got this big of a support and trust from any other coaches I had before. So Petra has a huge part on this. And my connections with my other teammates in the water are also a big contributor to this.
And in particular, as we talked with Petra about in the previous segment, you have one teammate who's also from Hungary, Lara Kish, and you have played together with her a long time. And how helpful has it been to have her with you here as you transition from Hungary to the U.S. and from playing water polo there to playing at this level at Arizona State?
Yeah, I mean, having her here was life-changing, and having her in the water, I don't think I ever had any connection like this, what I have with her in the water. I could trust with my life with her, and I just know that she will look for me, I will look for her, no matter what. I also know that she will die in the water for this team, for this program, for me, and I'll do the same. So it's just amazing to finally have her back after last season and then play with her again, especially because this is my last one, and she's a huge help in the water.
I would think so. And for both of you to play for Petra Party, who also is from Hungary, how has that helped and benefited you as a player and as a person?
But I'll be honest, like she was the biggest reason why I came here. At the time when they reached out and gave me the opportunity to come here, I didn't even speak the language, so I was only talking to Petra,
Oh, wow.
and she was telling me how it is at Arizona. I came here for an official visit, and I immediately fell in love with the environment and just with the team dynamic that they had. So,
How did you learn English once you came over here?
so in my junior year of high school, my dad sent me to Canada for a year to learn English.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so so I had a year, and then
Whereabouts in Canada?
I went 5 months in Victoria, and then I moved
British
to
Columbia,
yes,
yeah,
yes, in British Columbia, and then I moved to Regina, to Saskatchewan. Yes.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, I played water polo. I
Uh-huh.
learned English from friends.
Man, you speak it magnificently. So
Thank you.
it was well done. Your dad did well to do that for you. Hey, think back on last week's matches. We talked about them with Coach Party. The win at San Jose State, and boy, just a tough one-goal loss at Stanford, the two-time defending national champs this past Sunday.
I feel like it's always very hard to come back and to go down to practice after these losses, because UCLA was this year the same way as Stanford, that like we were so close, and those little like mistakes we made, that's like how to say it, it's just like the tiny mistakes that like if I don't know, we have one more block or one more better pass, it's like we have those games, and it's always very, very hard, but I think it gives the team more fire to like keep going and go through these losses. And also it's conference season. Every single game is extremely important. I honestly, this is my favorite part, especially because as you guys talked about how difficult and hard our conference is, I live for these games. I love these big games and to play with amazing teams. So we will not stop until we get what we want.
And yet, as frustrating as those losses are, what does it tell you? You're so close to beating UCLA, you're so close to beating Stanford, and as we mentioned with Petra in the previous segment, those two schools, along with USC, have won every water polo national championship in the 21st century. What does that say? How close are you, do you think, in your opinion, to being that kind of elite program?
I think honestly we are very, very close, and especially with 10 incoming freshmen, our team very, very young. Like we are depending in the water on players who's like this is their first season, this is the first time they're playing at this level, and I know that we ask a lot from them, and we want them to grow up to this level very, very fast. But it's also very, very important for their future and their success. So I would say we will do everything this season to get as close as possible and to make it NCs and go as far as we can. But I also know that it's a huge benefit for them to play this amount against these big teams for the next years they will be here and for the futures program.
And boy, you've got a big match coming up Saturday with number 2 California. What will be some of the keys to getting a win?
Honestly, after today's practice, I think today was tough, but from tomorrow it has to be a brand new start and focus on the weekend. I think one of them is patience and communication on our offense and defense. Having our shot blocks is extremely important, because I would say that first quarter when we were down by 2 and then against Stanford, that was I think one of the key to have our shot blocks and to have our goalie, and a lot of fire. We play and we usually fight until the very, very end, and that's what we gotta bring to take that number 2.
Yes, indeed. One final note, it just so happens that Luca happens to be on the watch list for the Peter J. Coutinho Award, which is basically the Heisman Trophy in women's water polo. It's awarded to the best male and female collegiate water polo players in the country each year. How do you react to being on that list? And talk about the role that your coaches and teammates have had over the years, and especially this year, in helping you to get to that level.
Yes, well, I'm very honored to be nominated to this, and I'm extremely thankful for my coaching and my teammates as well, because I get a huge freedom in the water. Like, I know how much Petra, Ethan trust me from outside, and that just gives me the fire, and I just want to keep pushing and go and help my teammates. And it's also amazing with my teammates that whenever they don't understand something or they have questions, they do come to me, and we practice during practices, and it's just like, I'm very happy to see how much they care about it and how much they also want to develop and be better players in overall, and I'm just grateful to have them.
Well, you've had a marvelous career at Arizona State, and hopefully the best is yet to come over the final month or so of the season. Luca, congrats on all the great accomplishments, and the best of luck to you this weekend and for the rest of the season.
Thank you so much.
That's Sun Devil water polo star Luca Petovary, our guest on this, the final segment of this week's edition of Sun Devil Extra. We do thank you so much for joining us. A few extra thank yous before we take our leave this week. Thanks to our executive producer. I always hate to do this, but I think he deserves a shout out. ASU Senior Associate Athletic Director Doug Tamaro, thank you for your help. Thanks as well to our engineer / producer / technical director, Sean Crespin of the Sun Devil Radio Network, for his help. And thanks as well to Zach Wargo of the ASU Sports Information Office for his help this week as well. We'll be back in 2 weeks. Check that on your calendar. 2 weeks with our next edition of Sun Devil Extra. And we do hope you'll make plans to drop by and join us. Have a good couple of weeks, everybody. We'll see you soon. Till next time, I'm Tim Healy. So long, everybody.